A very good day to you, Your Excellencies. On behalf of our Executive Secretary, Professor Abubakar Adamu Rashid, I welcome you to this short video, which is a guide to the curriculum review exercise we are having now, for us to have all disciplines agree on commonalities that will run across every discipline so that we can all be on the same page concerning this curriculum review exercise. This is the essence for this short video that will be produced by our Facilitator General. At this point, I want to invite our Facilitator General, Distinguished Professor Peter Okebukola, to take us through this section.
Oh, yes. Thank you, Professor Noel Biodun Saliu, our Coordinator General, for giving me this opportunity. So this is a short guide to version 4.0 of the NUC core curriculum and minimum academic standards, CCMAS. You know, we agreed at some point early in the process that is beyond benchmark. It's not core curriculum and minimum academic standards. So graduation from BMAS to CCMAS. Today is Saturday, August the 7th, and I'm glad to make this presentation. As you can see, I have used this this hummingbird, to pick nectar from this flower, meaning that the product of this exercise, the CCMAS, will be so sweet that other African countries will be rushing down to come and have a bite of this. So I'm presenting this video on behalf of the NUC strategy. You can see I put this big advisory. All we're doing is advise Baba Rashid, advise NUC, Stratcom. So these are the members, former Minister of Education, former Minister of Women Affairs, and former Vice Chancellor, our Grandpa, Professor Demi Briggs, our Secretary General, Professor Michael Faborode, former Vice Chancellor OAU, our five-star distinguished Professor Atahiru Jega, OFR, former VCB UK, and former INEC Chair, Global Chair, Professor Chiedu Mafiana, former Deputy Executive Secretary, actually he was former acting ES, Tokwe Togun, representing Nigeria Economic Summit Group. We have private sector participation here. Dr. Suleiman Ramon Yusuf, now acting Executive Secretary, waiting for Baba Rashid to come back. Chris Mayaki, Deputy Executive Secretary Administration, Dr. Bilo Sali, Director of Academic Planning, Simon Azi, DFA, Dr. Miriam Sali, Director of Administration, Professor Isaiah Obaya, passed on, and Dr. Joshua Atta. So that's the advisory committee that I'm making this presentation on. Yesterday, that's August 6th, we had this General Assembly, and we had 310 people participate. Very huge assembly. And of course, you can see our minister, you can see our coordinator, General Grandpa Briggs. Hey, Professor God is so good to relax. He's relaxing like a king, that he is. Professor Molade Oladele is addressing us here. And you can see yourself if you pan further. So what's the goal of this video? This video is to ensure that we have a table of contents that will harmonize all our efforts, regardless of the discipline. So every program, if you follow this sequence of table of contents, we will not have any problem at all. It will be fully harmonized. And that takes me to this joke of this boy, the father. The teacher said, "Sir, your son does not know anything." Sorry, his blurred. Does not know anything. He doesn't know anything. He cannot even spell a simple word like lion. The other said, "Oh, look, Akbos is still a small boy, and the word lion means a big animal. Why not start by first asking him to spell small animals like cockroach, because this one is even longer." So we're going to start with the small animal. We're going to start with the table of contents, and let us see how that. We'll see how the table of contents looks like. So the table of contents looks like this: 2 segments, the core curriculum segment, which has 10 sections, and we have to follow these sections in this sequence. And we have the minimum academic standards segment, where we have this 4 sections. There could be others. So at the beginning, you will see that we will have a document which looks like this. Core curriculum and minimum academic standards. We're going to get them discipline by discipline. So this is education, and executive secretary is there, and so this is what this thing looks like. Why are we aiming to have this like this? The idea of having a uniform template is to enable National Universities Commission as the leader in Africa to have a scheme like this on the site, where you have the different courses, the different programs, because there are programs here: law, linguistics, land, economy, medicine, education, English, all of this. And you see, if you click on any of them, let's click on English, for instance, you will have this. So you will have overview, course outline, entry requirements, resources, discover, university. So we want to be able to have a scheme where the different, look at this, course outline, entry requirements, resources, discover, university. We want to be able to have a template where every program will fit into, and then we'll put this as tabs on this this place. So we want to be a model for Africa. So let us continue with providing a guide of how to write the overview, the philosophy, the objectives. You do not need to have this table of contents on top of your document. You don't need to have them. All you need to do is just type overview. First of all, you're going to have the title, the program, BSc Biochemistry, on top of it as a heading, and that's all. You don't need to put number 1 overview, number 2 philosophy. Just let them run like this, and the 10 must go in this sequence, please. You have overview, philosophy, objectives, unique features of the program that should come after objectives, employability skills, 21st century skills, admission and graduation requirements, global course structure by level and semester, and the course contents. You can see we've changed this one to contents based on the discussion yesterday. From description, we now have contents, including learning outcomes for each course. So let us begin by looking at good, first of all, bad practice of writing overview, and then good practice. Fasten seatbelts, Your Excellencies. So let's see how this rolls. So the overview will liken to the abstract of a paper. You know, the abstract will capture the different elements there. So the overview should just summarize all the major sections of the program system. There's no need for long history. And we're suggesting that it should be between 1 to 3 paragraphs in length, and each paragraph being about 8 lines. So it can be just a paragraph, it can be 3 paragraphs, but there's no need to give a long, winding history. So let's look at some good and bad practices. And I want to let you know up front that the ones that we call bad practices have been improved significantly after a number of iterations and discussions at the education program level. Perhaps I should start with what can be called bad practice. You find this overview. You find this big story here. The need for counseling in outside school settings in recent times cannot be overemphasized. There are several cases of youth restiveness and all that. They're important, but for the purpose of this exercise, I think we just go for the jugular of the different sections. These have great repercussions on individuals, groups, families, institutions, and the nation at large. There is therefore the need to train guidance counselors. This is reading quite well here, but this earlier part will not appear to be it. The program in guidance counseling is therefore proposed to meet this great need of our time and beyond. So the overview does not present the different segments. It's just like the introductory part to an overview. So this may not be what we should adopt. Let's look at a good practice. This will appear to be good practice. Just a paragraph. Education is a profession of educating people about health, and a key component to ensuring this good health education program draws from, how you can see, is telling us where the components of this are from. graduating from health education program and areas within health education program encompass this and all that. So I think this looks like a good overview. Just a paragraph. You can make it 2, you can make it 3, and as we said, if it's going to be multi-paragraphed, then you let it be like maximum 8 lines or so per paragraph. So can we move on to the next? What is the next? Next, of course, is philosophy. So what should we know about philosophy? So for the philosophy, we're thinking it should just target the program, philosophy of the program itself, and not prefaced with some rambling general statements. Professor Gordon Sugolo, who is a great philosopher here, will agree with me. You say philosophy of a program is different from, philosophy, not like general philosophy or general statements about things, but directly focusing on the program. And then we suggest that it's not more than a paragraph of no more than 10 lines. Just go straight and give us the philosophy. By the way, everybody is free to do whatever he or she wants to do about writing philosophy, objects, and all that. But for the purpose of this exercise, it is good to harmonize our position. And that's why this video is being rendered to guide us. So let's look at some good and bad practices in the area of philosophy, right? We'll begin with the bad. Oh, sorry, I don't want to use that word bad. Let me say not so good practice. Look at this one, philosophy of the program. And of course, you don't need to put of the program just philosophy because the title of the program is already written on top of this document. So look at this. The philosophy of guidance and counseling is derived from the national philosophy of education in Nigeria and is based on the overview stated above. This does not say anything. So it says something, not that it doesn't say anything, but not the way we want it. We want it to be rendered. So let's look at some good practice or practices. We look at health education. You can see just a paragraph of 5 lines. The philosophy of this program. So you don't need to put of the program here. No, this is not necessary. So because the philosophy, as I said earlier, is right on top. So philosophy of health education program is to provide personnel with the highest academic, this is like a goal, implementing sound is that empowers the heart. You're not starting with some kind of philosophy. Intellectually to make enlightened choice about behaviors for a healthy society on individual and community levels. It's sitting in between philosophy and objectives, but this is not. Okay, let's move on. We have done overview, we've done philosophy. Now let's take on objectives. We have observed that we're not doing too badly with objectives, but what we should avoid is to enable the students understand, to enable the students to know why should we avoid them. Now, the education people, education theory say, look, it's difficult for you to measure. These are not measurable. To know, yes, but it's not that you cannot measure them, but they are going to be really stiff, to conduct good measurements on them. So we are asked to use what we call the action verbs. So what are these action verbs? Please recall that several weeks ago, I shared with you a document which will guide you in the words to use. Let me show you a few, and then we'll go to what we look at as good and bad examples. So this is a list of those action verbs, measurable verbs, writing objectives. I sent this to you before. I'll be very delighted to send this file to you again. So these are some of the verbs you should use: list, to state, to name, to tell, define, repeat, explain, translate, express, describe, sketch. So quite a long list here. We investigate to compare. So I'm going to share this with you again. But if you check your database or the materials I've been sending, you're going to get this there. Hey, I have good news with regard to writing objectives. I just checked through all the submissions in education and I found that they all complied. Wow, it's because we are the educated people. Lawyers are the learned people. So what I found here, though, is something we could avoid, which is to putting this to in every item that we listed. The objectives of the Bachelor of Education in Guidance and Counseling are, the two can be here, and then we delete all these to all the way down. So that's essentially what I've said. You can see graduates, to prepare students, to equip students, to enable graduates, to produce graduates. So this is very good. So I don't have any bad practice, any not so good practice. What I think we must do is just avoid the words, understand, to enable students to know. That will help us. We're using that as a guide for the objectives for the entire program, and also for the learning outcomes that we'll be getting at to very soon. Yes, we're moving. We've done objectives. Now let's go on to unique features of the program. This is quite straightforward, and many of us are doing quite well in it. We want to be able to focus on how this program is different from the BMAS and from all the other programs all over the world. How as the strengths of our program, of this particular program. So let's have the attributes listed. So as I stated, we must present the unique features of the program in full sentences, because this is the highlight. When Baba Rashid is presenting this to the minister, a minister of education is presenting to the world, we'll say, look, this our new CCMAS has a lot of strength, and you can see, it's going to be a harvest of all of the new features that we are putting together for the programs, our discipline, that will tell the world, tell Nigerians that, okay, look, our curriculum is a lot better than we used to have in the past. All the challenges, all the issues that were raised about lack of relevance and all that tackled, and we've compared with the rest of the world. So somebody will not come from Europe and North America to say, oh, ours is of lower quality. So we have to bring out very succinctly and powerfully in full sentences what the distinguished attributes are. So we must bring out the comparative advantage over, as I said earlier, over the BMAS and similar programs in top-rate universities all over the world. So let's look at some good and not so good. You can see I don't change my gear to not bad, not so good practices. So let's look at what I've labeled not so good practice. Look, unique features of the program. These are listed, yes, no problem with that. Teaching functional health information, essential knowledge, shaping personal values and beliefs that support health behaviors, shaping group norms. So it has to be like full sentences, because when you now tell somebody this program has a comparative advantage over CCMAS and all the others all over the world, this will not help. So what will help? Let me give what I consider to be good practice. So some good examples, good practices of unique features of the new program. You can see this: development of pragmatic innovative skills for effective teaching of physical education and sports in schools. So this is unique to this new program, this CCMAS. Production of graduates in business of sport product and services, meaning that this program is unique in the sense that it will lead to the production of graduates in this business, different from what we used to have in the past and different from other programs in other universities in the world. Development of basic core cognitive skills and attributes in specialized areas, and so on. So you can see that this is rendered in simple sentences, short and full and short and full sentences, rather than in bulleted points that are not so expansive. Let us see another good one. Unique features of the program. This guidance and counseling. The curriculum seeks to prepare counselors who will function in school and non-school settings. The syllabus emphasizes the use of modern technology, synchronous and asynchronous communication in counseling, counseling, use of social media, and the program also stresses the use of practicals. In addition to theoretical approaches, effort is given to. So these are unique features of this program, which presents good practice. So let's jump on to employability skills and the 21st century skills and admission and graduation requirements. We didn't do too badly at all in employability skills, 21st century skills. And of course, graduation admission requirements, quite well. But let's just take a quick look at employability skills, 21st century skills, and see some good and not so good practices. Here, we don't have any not so good practice because we have assembled the best experts in the field in all the disciplines. So you can see this example for guidance and counseling, employability. Graduates of this program shall possess skills, online counseling skills, and all of this that will make them employable in schools and other special settings like those indicated above. They will also turn out to be self-employed or even as employers of labor and all of this, telecounseling. So this is quite good and worthy of being exemplified for this. Yeah, let's take another one. This BA Education French. We equip the following employability. That should be equipped. Will be equipped with the following ability to. This will have to move up to establish and run a primary, secondary school translation interpretation outfit. Yes, that's employability slant. Tourism agency, French training, and is exam center for government and chambers of commerce. So that's good. Shall we move on to the 21st century skills? This also an easy part. The 21st century skills are quite numerous. They are almost like about 20. We'll be able to see some people mentioning 21st century skills that are not part of 21st century skills. Like sportsmanship, it's not a 21st century skill. It could be, but when listed, it is not part of that regime of 21st century skills. So what we'll need to do is here to say the program will lead to the development or acquisition of the following 21st century skills. And we'll list them: curiosity, problem solving, teamwork, digital literacy, and all of that. Team cohesion is fine, interpersonal communication. So let's just have a listing, but preface it with a step to say the program will lead to the development or acquisition of the following 21st century skills in the students. Okay, so we have done number 6, which is 21st century skills. We're moving on to number 7, admission and graduation requirements. We have all done this fantastically well. So nothing to guide us because we're already on top of it. Global cost structure, yes. Number 8 will need some explication. The global cost structure, by the way, looks like this. Before taking a look at the global cost structure, let's look at Mr. Akpos again, this boy. Akpos, if Rukeway buys 5 gala and eats all the 5 galas at a time, what will she have left? Even teacher knows about English. What will she have left? Wow. Of course, 5 empty wrappers of gala. So let's look at the cost structure, whether they empty or not. Of course, the cost structure is not empty. We may have some empty cells like here, this column, practical hours. So what global cost structure means is, as the name indicates, global. If you're looking at the courses that a student will take from 100 level to 400 level or 500 level, all we're doing is providing a table like this, which is the global. So the GST courses that we taking, in this case, education courses, the health education courses, and the courses outside the department, all will be listed here. And then the number of units will be there. The status will be there. And then the lecture hours, and then the practicals. Many of us have not adopted this. I think for the purpose of this harmony that we are pleading with us to adopt or to apply, it would be good if we have this global cost structure. So you have for 100 level, that's the courses in the core curriculum, not the ones the universities will generate, core curriculum that will be available at 100, 200, 300, 400, and X other levels if you have them, like in engineering or in medicine. Now let's just take one of them. At 100 level, you have these courses. By the way, all these courses will change when we get the GST courses from Professor Noah Salih and the people in GST, directors of GST, and also the entrepreneurship. We're going to have them here. So all we're doing here is just listing all the courses that the students will take in the core curriculum. Mind you, for every level, it is 30 units, 15 units per semester. But the 15 units are not, I underline the word or underscore it, not to be provided in the core curriculum. Only 70% are to be provided in the core curriculum. And there's nothing, that's why I have this in red, there is nothing like required. We're not putting any required course in the core curriculum. Let the university be deciding on which one is required, which one is elective. So to summarize, the course structure will give us a table for 100 level, 200 level, 300 level, 400 level, 500, 600 as the case may be. And then we have the following columns. We have the course code. We have the course title. Don't worry, the course code, just leave the course codes as you can prescribe them at this stage. And when they are being harmonized, they'll be streamlined. The units, the status, and then the lecture hours. Please note that 2 units of a course that is strictly lectures will be 30 hours, 15 hours per unit. But if it is a course of 2 units that will have a practical component and a lecture component, it will be 15 hours for the 1 unit and 45 hours for the practical unit. This is important for us to have, but if we just leave it as just unit status, many universities may not engage their students in practicals, and when accreditation is on, when we're measuring them against some minimum standards, we'll not be able to know whether they did practicals or not. So this has to be there. Let me see what else to say here. Yeah, that's it. 2 units. If it is strictly lectures, then it will be 30. Excuse me, sorry. It will be 30. If no practicals, so this will be dash. That's what Akpo said. Akpo said it will empty wraps. You will get empty wraps there. Then if it is strictly practicals, the 2 units, if there is no theory here, no lecture there, then what will it be? Oh yes, you got it. 90 hours, 45 hours per unit, 90 hours of practicals. So this one will be dash. So let me repeat. Taking, let's say, general biology. Let's take general biology. We have advised the education people not to put this one because you don't know what Professor Akonji, Musba Akonji, will come with his group about a course called by 111. It may change. So when it assume it is by 111, general biology, a 2-unit course, is compulsory, I will not imagine that general biology will be all theory, all lectures. I assume that maybe 15 hours of lectures and 45 hours of practicals, something like this. So that's the way we are suggesting it would be. And so you're going to have all this 100 level, 200 level, 300 level, so that at a glance, that's why it's called a global course structure. At a glance, you're able to see what the courses, what you are in for as a student. Oh, this I'm 300 level. Hey, my goodness, what am I in for in this course? I can see all the courses that the person will take, the student will take. Now, we suggested at the General Assembly held yesterday, 6th of August 2021, that for 400 level, we could strive to reduce the number of compulsory courses. Mind you, we have not indicated, that's why I say course code, just leave them, because we have not indicated which one is Hamatan, which one, first semester, which one is second semester. We leave that to the universities to ensure that they partition or they deliver as the Senate will have approved. So, if we have too many, like we have in this one, too many compulsory courses for 400 level, you find that For the second semester, there'll be so many compulsory courses, and that will be heavy on the students. By the time their last semester in the university, 5 compulsory courses. If you fail one, it means you have 1 whole year. But if the student is serious, what will be the matter? Nothing is the matter. But let's just take the average student, where we'll say, okay, let's put some in the first semester, the second, very few or none in the second semester. In other words, the 300 level would be heavy with compulsory courses. That is just a suggestion. You know, different disciplines, you have different ideas, so implement as you wish. But we are proposing. What's the meaning of that we? What's that plural pronoun? Who them be? I don't know, myself, and I don't know. But are they among them to say, look, let's be thin on the ground? And by the way, we agreed on that largely at the General Assembly yesterday. So I think we're almost there. We've done global course structure. And then number 9, course structure by level and semester. Hey, as I'm narrating this video, it's like we don't need this one, number 9. Because number 8 has already covered global course structure. And we say by semester, well, let's leave the universities to decide which one where they want to have their semester. So if you people don't mind, though, my people, we may have to delete that. So we'll just have course contents, including learning outcomes for each course. Yeah, so let's see how this one goes. Number 9. I have a few examples to exemplify this. So this will be course contents and learning outcomes. You put the title, the course title, the course code, everything here. And then you do 2 units compulsory, fine. Lecture hours 30, yeah, so that's fine. Let me even see whether I can put this on all together. Yeah, so I put this together here. The structure is this, Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen. You have the course code, the course title, and the units and all of that. And then after that, you have the learning outcomes. That is for this course. The learning outcomes, you can see well stated here. And then we have it as course description. This is not the course description, this is course content. So we're going to put the course content, and that's it. And the course content will go teaching as a profession, ethics of teaching profession, full stop at the end of it, like this, at the end of each topic. So that this topic, when taught in ABU, will be the same as when taught in UI, or in Nasarawa State University, or in Osun State University. You see, if we just put a course description, this course is to prepare professional and all that, it will just be, everybody will be free for all. It will not be sharp enough to guide the lecturers across the universities. So this is how we are suggesting should be. Course content, you put this in there. And then you have introduction to health education. The second one, learning outcomes. Upon successful completion of this course, students will have reliably demonstrated ability to. Yeah, okay, that's fine. Good. Then you have the course content here. See, this person has it as started with course description. This course explores introductory concepts related to the field of health education. Basic principles, no, all this one will go. This one will surely go. Don't put in this course. Will do it. Just say course content and just go ahead with what the content, course content. Yes, yeah. I think content is fine than contents. Yeah, as you can see, it's reading better now. Basic principles, philosophies, and issues related to health education. Okay, the concept and meaning of health education and so on. But this one, the course will explore the historical. No. We just take this off. You will just take this off and just say historical, philosophical, and biological. Yeah, so it goes on like that. And it's looking. This course is set out to develop health attitudes. No, you can just say development of health attitudes and all of that. So that will be 8. Now, for every course that we have in the global course structure, we must have learning outcomes and we must have the course content. As you can see, I highlighted this one in yellow because the provider of this CCMAS, this has improved, as I kept repeating myself like broken record. We will have the ability to understand. So this one, we don't want this one understand. Okay, so this course will have, so every course will have the course learning outcomes. First of all, learning outcomes, and then the course content. Get the sequence, not course content first, the learning outcomes at the bottom. No, the learning outcomes will come just after the line which shows the course code, course title, and then followed by the course description. So let's say course description, oh, slip of tongue, oh, so course content. Hey, bravo. Clapping for ourselves. Now, we've done everything regarding the core curriculum segment. Now we'll go to the minimum academic standards segment. Here, we'll have the list of minimum equipment. So it is not just sufficient to say one science laboratory or a language laboratory. We got to indicate the equipment that should be in that laboratory or in that workshop, so that, because these are minimum standards, when the accreditor comes or when you're doing self-study, you'll be able to know, okay, we said language laboratory. Oh yeah, the language laboratory is there with a label at the top, by the entrance. But coming inside, you got to see this equipment that will be basis for accreditation. The minimum standards for staffing, how many professors, no lecturers, and all that. You see, this is a standalone. We expect that this should be like a standalone program. We have core curriculum, that's education, and within education we have this course. By the way, as I said, you don't need to put this table of contents in your CCMAS for the program. You don't need to have this. Just make a note of this as basis for guiding you. Let's see what else. Yes, what else? Well, something else that's quite important. You know, in the BMAS, we had this learning outcomes, regime of subject knowledge. We listed this competency and skills. We listed cognitive ability, general skills, and all of that. This will not be necessary because we already have for each of the courses the learning outcomes. So this is fine, but they can go as part of the discipline general, learning outcomes general, competency and skills and general behavioral attributes. So we do not need to have them in the CCMAS for the program. You agree? Hey, I can see you're nodding your head in agreement. Okay, attainment level, that's not necessary. So this is already dealt with this. Getting back to the equipment, minimum equipment, and all of that. So we have this that the reviewer provided, but as I mentioned, this has been improved. I'm just showing this as an example of the early level rendition. Gymnasium and mini sports field for practical purposes. We need to indicate the equipment that will be in the laboratories, fitness suite, and gymnasium. Biomedical laboratory, what should be inside? You can have a room, the university can just get a room and just put a label on top biomedical laboratory, but that's not going to help. We've got to know what are the equipment, the minimum standards for equipment that should be there. Psychology consultation booth, the same. Exercise fitness suite, we've got to put the equipment. So that's about it. Resource academic and non-academic staff as contained in this document. No. You got to put the one for the program. It can be repetitive. It can be copying from the education one or from the main the discipline one and pouring them here. Academic staff, non-academic staff, because see, this is for program accreditation. So we do not need to now be going to the accreditor will now come. The minimum standards for this, let me see what you have, and then be asking for the booklet for the university or for the department, for the faculty. So let's have them here, and it's short, nothing too heavy, as we will see in the next what I'm going to show you in the next few seconds. So this is good practice. Gymnasium hand grips of weightlifting, workout gym, glove, palm protector. Let me make this bigger. EMS, hip trainer, muscle stimulator, and so on. So this is what we want to have. Push-up, stand bars, and all that. Mini sports field for practical purposes. 110 by 90 meters football field, 2 pairs, goalpost. So that's what we want. And what you don't want is what I have here towards the end here. Academics as contained in this document education. No. So we're going to have the details provided there. So please see another good practice, health education. Academic staff, 1 to 30 for education, 70% and all that. Administrative support staff, you have the details there. Technical staff, you have there. Spaces, you recommend the following physical space requirements, professor's office, head of department, and all of that. Equipment, you can see everything all listed. Library information resources, equipment for training students. Yeah, so this is what we want to see. This is helpful for us to be able to transit to an instrument for accreditation at the program level. So what have we done so far? I said it would be a short video, but apparently it's a long video. But for good cause, so that it will be rich enough to guide us in developing the version 4.0. So we've done all of this, numbers 1 to 9. We deleted the old 9. And then we've done this academic standards, minimum academic standards, equipment, staffing, library, and all of this. So what's next? What's next is a plea for us in an attempt to get a table of contents to style the headings. Please, let's keep the headings without any style. You can see you have heading 1, heading 2, heading 3, heading 4. So when you get here, for instance, graduation requirements, you can see here is heading 2. We don't want you to put any heading. Just let it be normal. If you are unsure of what this means, just tell the person who's typing for you, although I would expect every professor to be able to do this himself. So you can see this one is heading 2. We don't want it to be a heading 2 at all, because by the time we are compiling the overall table of contents, is going to distort everything. So this one should just be normal. And you can see I changed it. If you like, you can then make this bold for us to see properly and make it like this. Yes. Oh no, that's too much. Keep it like this as normal. Please do not use any heading style. Like this one is heading 3. We don't want heading 3, please. We don't want heading anything. Just keep it as normal, and then you can make it bold there. And there's no need to number 1, 2, 3. I do not mean the numbering like here. Like this one's graduation requirements is heading 2. We don't want any heading at all. Please tell the person who is laying this out for you, this heading 3. So what should you do? As I said, you click on this, you make this one normal. And then if you want to make it bold, you can do that and something like that. That's all. Please do not put those style the headings. So just before I conclude this video, I'd like to remind us of again of what we reminded ourselves of yesterday, that for a general 4-year program, for the 4-year program, the general scheme is to have 120 units. The 120 units are not to be provided by also. They are to be, we are only to provision 70% of the 120 units. So 120 units will mean 15 units per semester. And if it's a 5-year course, that's 30 units additional per another session. That's 150 for a 6-year course, and it goes on like that. So as I stated, 70% of this 120 are to be part of this core curriculum. We must leave 30% for the universities. We also were told yesterday that we do not need to suggest to the universities some required or elective courses. It will be insulting, I'm sorry to use that word, but the universities with all those heavy professors by now telling them that, knowing that, look, we are at the last stage of this process. We started 4 years ago. So some other eggheads have come together they have sent to all the senate of our universities, and they have made their input. So it's not for us at this stage to now be telling the universities, so we're suggesting this to you. Let them get their own 30%. And that is the hallmark of the Baba Rashid's curriculum, which I love so very much. So all courses within 70% are compulsory, and the Fire GST Entrepreneurial Studies courses will be sent to us by Professor Saliu. And do not forget one program-specific entrepreneurial course. Professor Musbawa Akonji access today. Are they two? Definitely not two. We already said this. One program-specific entrepreneurial course. And I also propose the following next steps. You are going to get this slide today, a short video. I think I should change this short to long. The thing not be short again. Short will mean like about 20 minutes max. Now this one is going to almost 1 million hours. Okay, 9 to 11 of August for us to update all programs based on this guide or the table of contents. And then we have the discipline group meetings to finalize the updated programs. Then by the 18th of August, God willing, Wednesday, 18th of August, we're all going to meet again to take a final report from the disciplines. It will be as short, 5 minutes from each discipline. And then the education group and all the others, we could hear pharmacy also saying they are waiting for courses in science to be able to update there. So we are waiting. After this general assembly, the courses will now be sent to everybody, and then education can update its programs, pharmacy can update, and all the others that depend on all the faculties. So we are going to end up with a version 4 for all programs. After the discipline groups will have conducted internal editing. We heard yesterday that a number of our disciplines have started doing the internal editing. Nigeria, we are very rich for top-level human resources. We are the best in Africa, if not in the world. I mean, the professors were really, really, really good. So internal editing has started, technical accuracy and language editing. Then by September 6th, God willing, all the chair of the disciplines will then send to Professor Saliu the version which will be named, as we said yesterday, science, please and please, because we did this in education. Almost 1 million times we're telling them, name this thing like this. You still get some people still putting their name, CC and all manner of things. So it should be this, science, version 4.0. Oh, I'm going to change this one, 4.0. You can see, computer, you're going to be smart. I've changed it to version 4.0. The reason being that when Professor Saliu is now doing the global editing, it will now end up with version 4.1. The reason why we're having these versions is not to avoid confusion. Tower of Babel. Some people when build this confusion, all manner of versions. So if we know what version is, it will be easy for us to process thereafter. So it will be science, version 4.0, biochemistry, Saliu. This Saliu is the surname of the reviewer who has done biochemistry, and this is the version, and this is the discipline. That's it. Oh yes, that's it. So thank you, Professor Saliu, Coordinator General, for giving me this opportunity to present this video. Short video, not lie. This is not long video. Okay, I believe you will find the video helpful. And until August 18th, God willing, see you at the General Assembly. I am Peter Okebukola. Bye-bye. Be strong.